For this book, Babble, I decided to do it on a sector of characterization called character foil, in which you analyze two characters that are complete opposites of each other. A famous character foil would actually be in Much Ado About Nothing, where they describe Don Pedro, and Don Juan. And in this case, in my book, I decided to do Gertie versus Clovis, which ironically they're husband and wife. And let's first start off with Gertie. Gertie likes to farm. She loves being in the soil, she loves being with her children, she loves getting down and dirty. One quote from the book says, "Brown and wrinkled were her hands. The fingernails were black." She just enjoyed it. She loved to whittle. She just loved to be outside. While her husband Clovis was also a farmer, he liked to stay back to himself. He enjoyed much of the same things she did, but while Gertie would rather roam through the woods or play with her children, he would rather stay back and be with the land and just kind of keep to himself. Another thing that they differ by is that she was supremely strong. The book describes her as stocky, with a strong upper body and width of shoulders, while Clovis is more willowy. Here is a quote from the book. "Clovis, his tall, thin body stooped a little, his forever hunched shoulders hunched still more, as they always were, when he stepped through a strange door, for as tall as she, but without the bigness of bone or width of shoulder." So he was the same height, yet he was smaller. He was also more nervous. Gertie, on her way to save her son, had to perform what we would call a tracheotomy on her son, and she did what she had to do. She didn't grimace by the blood, she wasn't worried. She took care of her son, and her motherly instincts took over, while Clovis, when he found out, he was so nervous. He was torn up inside. He didn't know what to do, and he was sad that he hadn't made it there earlier, and he couldn't stand the sight of blood. He turned green and looked away, while Gertie was right there. In fact, it is as if they switched gender roles. Clovis is kind of plays the weaker woman. He's more nervous. He's more flitty. When he found this out, he was the one that needed calming down by Gertie because he was so worried how they were going to pay, what they were going to do, while Gertie was the calm, cool, and collected one who handles her family. She's the breadwinner. She controls the family, and she holds them together in crisis. So their swapping kind of gives Gertie the full power of the novel. Clovis is a loving husband, and she will love him, but he is the weaker one in this foil. And that is my book, Babble.